Tim is in Moore Park, California. Hi, Tim.
I love you, Leo. I'm Tim Callum Carrion. How do I get free, private, anonymous email that does not read my email like Start Mail, but free? Start Mail is STARTMAIL. It doesn't read your email, but it costs $55 a year.
Well, you know why Google and Yahoo and Microsoft read your email? They need to pay
They
for
sell
this.
it.
Well, but that's how they pay for it. So a free service, if you think about it, it costs somebody something to give you an email service. They've got to pay for servers. They've got to pay for bandwidth. They've got to pay for support. It's not free to them. That's why Google Mail, which looks like it's free, isn't free. They pay for it with advertising, and they read your email to provide you with advertising. I have to take a break. Stay on the line. When we come back, let's see if we can find a way to get free email that doesn't spy on you. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Tim called in with a great question. He says he's used Start Mail, but Start Mail's $60 a year. Start Mail claims to offer secure email. He says, where can I get a free version of the same? A couple of things I'd say. First of all, anything that's free on the internet, be suspicious. Unless they've got some billionaire just giving them money, either they're going out of business. There are a lot of free things on the internet. Most things on the internet are free. Or they have a plan to monetize in some way. Servers aren't free. Bandwidth's not free. That great-looking website's not free. Engineers are very expensive. So there's got to be a plan somewhere to pay for all that. It worries me when something says, oh, no, we're free and we're not going to show you ads and we're not going to monetize you. Well, then I'm worried that they're hiding something because, well, as the great science fiction author Robert Heinlein once said, Tinstoffel, there is no such thing as a free lunch. You know, what's going on? Now, there is a service to answer your question, Tim, and the chat room reminded me of this, and I set up an account on this for a while back, and I'm not advocating it only because I don't quite understand it. There is a Swiss company called Proton Mail. It's Proton, P-R-O-T-O-N, mail, M-A-I-L, .ch. That's the Swiss domain. That says they provide everything you asked for, end-to-end encryption, secure email servers not in the United States, where they would be subject to U.S. law, but in Switzerland. It's 100% free, they say, and modern and stress-free. So, of course, immediately I wonder, well, Is this a pro bono effort? Who's paying for this? It says, we are scientists, engineers, and developers drawn together by a shared vision of protecting civil liberties online. That maybe is possible. I mean, certainly open source software is often created by people who do it for free just for the public good or for their own, satisfaction. So I guess it's possible. There's a team, though. I'm seeing a total of 11 people working for them. Here's a part of the page that might be interesting. Proton Mail is supported by more than 10,000 individuals who participated in our crowdfunding campaign. Well, that's good. They raised money. Additional backers include, wait a minute, Charles River Ventures. That's a venture capital fund. As far as I know, venture capitalists usually expect a payout of some kind. The Fondation Genevoise pour l'Innovation Technologique, or FONGIT, which is a nonprofit, financed by the Swiss government. Okay. But let's presume the Swiss government gives them money without any expectation. The problem is, how do you verify that this is secure, safe, and nobody's watching? You can't. You just have to say, well, it's a nice website. Looks like, must be true. They got a picture of the Swiss Alps. Must be true, because the Swiss never lie. It's got to be true. You're just trusting them. Here's my suggestion. If you want really, truly secure and private email and you don't want anybody to read it, there is, in my mind, one and only one absolutely sure and safe and secure and verifiable way to do that, and that is to encrypt it yourself, to scramble it yourself. The only way to put something on the internet that's private is if you scramble it before it goes on the internet. And you and only you keep the key. Now, they have encryption, but they have the key, so that doesn't fly. You have to do it. You have to download, I would recommend, an open source version of PGP called GPG, GNU Privacy Guard. There's GPG for Windows, and there's GPG for Mac. It's free because it's open source, and you can inspect the source, and people had to make sure there's no backdoor for governments. You then generate your own private key pair. You're going to have a public key and a private key. The public key you can give out. Anybody can have it. In fact, you should give it out. I put my public key in my email signature. You could put it on the key servers so people can find it. That's what they need to send you private mail. They use GPG to encrypt what they're sending to you. And you have the private key. You keep that close to your vest because that's what you need to decrypt. So this public key crypto really is a great idea. You can give out your public key without any harm. That allows people to send you private email. And then you have your private key that you keep under lock and key, password protected, so that nobody can get it. And then you can look at mail. You could do the same thing using public key cryptography for your data, anything you store on the internet. That, in my mind, that's the only way. But then, if you do that, you can use Gmail, because Google can't read your mail. It's just gobbledygook. And by the way, they don't prohibit this. In fact, Google's been looking in a way to do this, but there's always going to be an issue with when they hold the key. You know, you and only you should have that private key. So download GNU Privacy Guard, gpgtools.org on the Mac, gpg4windows.com on the PC. Install it. It's safe. It's secure. Generate a strong key pair, 2048 or 4096 bits. Really strong. Even the government can't crack that. And use it. You have to prearrange with people you're going to email that they get your public key so they can send you stuff, and you get their public key so you can send them stuff. That's not so hard. There's a way to do that. And now you can exchange email that nobody, not even the government, can read. And you can do it on a free email service like Gmail. So if you believe in Proton Mail and you trust them, and I have no reason not to, but I have no reason to, then go ahead, go out and get that. That's free, protonmail.ch. It's certainly a lot easier. But if you really care and you don't want anybody to read your mail and you don't want anybody to do advertising against your mail, you can only, and by the way, you won't be able to send mail to anybody except people you've already got their public key. Like if you decide you want to send an angry email to Captain Crunch, you can't. You know, or somebody will be able to read that email. But if you want private email, in my opinion, if you want private internet access of any kind, if you want to be private in the internet, the only way to do it is something called end-to-end encryption, where only you hold the public key. And other than that, you're just trusting. You're just trusting somebody in Switzerland. Well, they're Swiss. They've got to be trustworthy. Seems like they do everything right. I have no reason not to trust them. They seem pretty good. They claim to use end-to-end encryption, which is good. I'll have to read up on how they're doing that. You'll know if it's good encryption if only you have your private key. If they make a private key for you and keep it on their website, that's not the same. That's not what I'm talking about. You need to make your own key and keep it to yourself. No, if anybody has access to your private key, you're not private anymore. You have to create a new one. 8888 Ask Leo. Somebody in the chat room saying, well, I don't get it. Why can't anyone with your public key read the email again? Oh, it's because it's one-way encryption. Your public key only encrypts. It doesn't decrypt. It's quite a clever thing. Once this was created, remember, this is the encryption the federal government tried to block from export, saying this is munitions quality. This is dangerous. Well, they gave up on that, and it is global, and thanks to the guy who invented it, Phil Zimmerman, and PGP, or not invented it, but made it popular, we can all use it. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.